Hey everybody! It's me, Ginger Luck's mom. Hope everybody's having a good day. Give it a couple of seconds for people to come in. Happy September. Happy first day of virtual school. Happy Monday, Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Feels like it's Monday, but it's Tuesday. Um, it's been a crazy week. I'm sorry I haven't gone live over the weekend. Haven't been really feeling that great. I definitely want to come live. A lot of stuff happened in the Big Brother house overnight. A lot happened overnight. So let's just get to it. Tell you everything that happened. Start and we'll go from the beginning a little bit, from maybe where you don't know where things started and began or where they did. So we all know Christmas is HOH. Her nominations for the week were Bailey and Davon. Kind of saw that coming. Um, Here's where everything went nuts with Big Brother this week. Well, Kaser's speech really has resonated and really set an angry tone. Like, it really set a tone in the house. And unfortunately, sometimes, that's part of the game, to get people stirred up and crazy. I'm like, would I want to put myself through that? No. But this is what they do on Big Brother. This is a part of Big Brother. This is what makes Big Brother. You got the drama. I mean, things can change from day to day. People get mad. People get happy. People cry. We see everything from Big Brother. The biggest fights. And I honestly have to be honest, I thought there would be a whole lot more fights, considering people have been in quarantine for since March, and now they're going to a quarantine with people they don't know that they're trying to push out of a house. I couldn't even imagine what kind of temperament, like I couldn't even be in that house. Like, I couldn't even imagine what it must be like, because I've hated quarantine, and that's kind of what they do all the time for Big Brother. I think I'd go stir crazy if I lived in a house like that with that much animosity and anxiety. It's not worth it. So Tyler, everything was going down. Davon's goal, and Davon's goal was to make everybody feel bad for what they did to them. That was her game. Great gameplay. Great gameplay. But everybody who's feeling guilty are now mad. Really mad. Christmas, I don't understand Christmas' explosion. She was having a completely logical conversation. Now, I'm jumping way ahead of myself here, but what happened was, when Tyler realized, and he was feeling so bad that Bailey and Davon were on the block, because Davon, that was her goal, was to make them feel bad. He decided he wanted to bail out on Big Brother this season, and unfortunately, give me 1 second, hold on. Sorry. Kids home, first day of school. Thanks, Red Rub Media. I appreciate it. I just want to get through, because I haven't done this all weekend, and I just kind of want to get it done and over so people can have it, and I can put it out there in case people aren't watching. Some feed channels that, have some really good content have actually come down. Hopefully we'll see some of them soon on YouTube. So yeah, Tyler and Bailey, let's go back to that. Everything from Big Brother 20. Everything from Big Brother 20 is blowing up from Big Brother 22. And hey, Tanya, thanks for coming. Hey, Plummy, I appreciate it. I thank you for coming. Let me see. Christmas is a psycho. I completely agree. People should be afraid of her. Cody was afraid of her, believe it or not, Tanya. Cody was terrified of her. And he said he saw this blow up coming, but he thought it was going to be directed at him. But thankfully, I mean, for Cody, I think he's thankful that he's not in the middle of this complete chaos. But thankfully, today in the house, things are a little bit better, but I'm going to get there in a second. So Tyler wants to self-evict. Well, not necessarily self-evict, but be backdoored. He told Christmas he wants to be backdoored. He told Christmas he wants to go home to Angela. So why keep a guy in the show who doesn't want to stay? That's the one thing that is really pissing me off. So many people try so hard to be on this show. Hey, Kim Smith, thanks for coming. Tried so hard to be on the show, and you got somebody on there who doesn't really want to be there. It's not a fair thing. Bailey, I'll give this. Bailey does want to be there. But let's just, the whole thing between her and Tyler just goes so deep, and so it's not even something I even want to touch personally, because it's something that's personal between the two of them that happened during BB20. And to completely blame Tyler for everything, I don't think that's completely fair, because when you're playing a game and tensions and anxieties rise. That's just this game. That's the name of the game. It's not a fun game. I wouldn't want to, like I said, I would not want to play that kind of game, especially with like the anxiety and the drama. I would not want to live with that on a screaming basis and feeling animosity towards people every day. I can't even imagine what that feels like. So it's Labor Day. Or the day before Labor Day, they decided to do, or no, it was Labor Day. It was yesterday. This is where everything went in. Ooh, no way, J Jobs. No way. I didn't know that. I did not know that. I knew that she had gotten herself into some kind of trouble, but I didn't know what for. But people were saying that they were ready for Christmas to pop off, and she did on Day. And Day was being completely level-headed, totally talking sensible to her, trying to explain to her where she's coming from, and Christmas went nuts. Christmas lost her shit. Started screaming at Day. Day did the right thing. Day walked outside. Day went outside, vented, so I hate this game, and vented and screamed to the air. She did exactly what she should have done. Because in this case scenario, unfortunately, Christmas looks horrible. This makes Christmas look terrible. Look, it was Labor Day, so after nominations, and she didn't take Tyler, and she didn't take her off the block, and that's what Tyler wanted, and Christmas didn't do it. But what I did hear, though, was that production basically told Christmas that he was not allowed to do it. He's not allowed to be backdoored or allowed to be backdoored. And she's like, got to play by the rules. No, you're not. I don't know where Christmas is coming with this. I'm not a fan of Christmas the player. I'm just not. Are you ready for episode 14? Yeah, I am. Actually, I've been enjoying the games and stuff. Watching them, at least on TV, that makes it a little bit more fun to watch. Christmas told Bay and Day that the BB house was her house. I did hear that. Yeah, she's like, this is my house. I'm like, oh my God. Little bit of a control freak yesterday. Actually, a whole lot of bit of a control freak. So it's Labor Day. I guess they gave them like all this food and kind of stuff, and everybody's like sitting around eating, and I think they gave them about 4 bottles of wine, something like that. And Christmas went to talk to Day. They popped off, and then Bay went and talked to Christmas. And this is where Christmas, I was just like completely lost her shit, because at least Bailey was explaining to her, like, don't tell somebody who's on the block that you freaking nominated to be on the block that they shouldn't be upset about being on the block. And because I'm not a big fan of Bailey, but Bailey just said, no, I don't want to hug you. I wouldn't want to hug her ass either. Like, I would not want to hug her because I would be so mad at her. You'll get over it. This is Big Brother, and most people do get over that animosity that the house brings. So next, she was storming around, and then I didn't see Christmas a lot for the rest of the night after that. She was hiding in her room. But I mean, Bay, Day, Enzo, and Kevin were up until 7 o'clock my time this morning, easy. And they were just talking in the bathroom, and I think, and they were just trying to work off all this drama and energy that had happened. And Day was doing all of her funny stuff, and she's like, I'm going to tell Christmas, this is how I'm going to do my speech, okay? I'm coming for you, New Year's Eve. And then the next time, Valentine's Day, and she's going off and calling her every holiday. So hilarious. So hilarious. And that is why I absolutely love Davon, because she's funny. She knows she's on a show. She knows she's got to, but there's so many personal feelings that come in with this show. Once again, another reason why I don't want to be, I would never be, I wanted to be on the show, but when I realized what drama and being in drama is like, and being involved in it 24/7, and being what it's like to be like held captive and not being able to leave a house, especially when people you don't like, nope, I wouldn't want to do it. I could see this maybe being the end of Big Brother, only because people don't want to live in a house for 3 months with people. But if you put $500,000 in, it does make it a little easier. Unpopular opinion: Tyler and production created the Tyler eviction hoax. Completely disagree. I don't think, I honestly, and I would really hope that CBS, I don't think CBS would be behind something like that to even bring something that he wants to see, two girls, of a different race who've never made it to the, to make it forward. And that's the thing. There's been a lot of race talk that I don't feel that anybody's necessarily racist in this game. I really don't. But what I do think is I think Tyler was feeling incredibly guilty. This was just his way of like, I don't want to deal with this like I did 2 years ago. And he said, just let me go home to my girlfriend. I don't give a shit. Just let me go home. I don't care. And unfortunately, Christmas did not apply with that. So it kind of does make it look bad for Tyler. It does make it look bad because Tyler said, he kind of used like two girls like yourself need to win this game, and I want to stand for something that's greater. I'm sorry, you say something like that, you gotta go. You gotta go. Whether you decide to self-evict, you stand for something like that, you say something like that on the feeds, like that's going to stand out. That's going to stand out. And I don't think it's Tyler's fault, but when he wanted to support something that was a greater good, when you say something like that, then you should stand by it. I mean, I understand it was against the rules. I would have probably self-evicted myself if that was something I decided I was going to say and I was going to stand for. That's all. If you're going to say it, do it. So, yeah, just the house was just a mess. Thankfully, you had Enzo. Enzo was always in the mix yesterday, making everybody laugh. Because Enzo, that's what he does good. At least he makes other people laugh. No, he's not necessarily the greatest player in the world, but he's funny to watch. So the veto is going to be played tomorrow. Now, I don't know if many of you have seen the feeds or even just some stuff on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter. Nicole has a leotard, which is the worst. I am not a big Nicole fan this season. I'm not saying I'm not a Nicole fan at all. This season, I'm not. But I have to tell her, and her leotard, that this slot box leotard is one of the funniest things I've really seen in a long time. I mean, her germatard wasn't, 16 was actually kind of cute. Then she had like this cone head thing on 18. Wasn't actually that bad either. This one's bad. The sloppy spot would, that poor girl's got to balance that thing on her head. And like I said, I do have to call her a poor girl because I wouldn't want to wear that all week. I really don't think he wanted to be there from the beginning. No, you are 1,000% right, Tanya. He did turn it down. And he said this to David. He never wanted to come. He turned it down. Angela called CBS and said, yes, he's going to do it. So he did it. So that I knew that from previous, that he told David that. And I had put up a video with David and Tyler going back and forth, which I just thought was hilarious. The two of them, no, you got the power. No, you do. No, you do. No, you do. No, you do. And legit, David has the power. Tyler doesn't. Tyler's being honest. David's just not wanting to trust a soul in the house. He's got to trust somebody. He's playing Big Brother. When you're playing with yourself, could you imagine if David wound up winning this whole thing? I couldn't. I couldn't, because I don't think he'll make it that long. I really don't. I don't think like somebody like Memphis and Cody will allow someone who's not really been doing too much and really doesn't even understand the game that well. He's just understanding the game this season on All Stars. Like I said, I think CBS did him wrong. CBS should have put him on a regular season and made him a comeback with maybe a couple of others who got voted out first. That would have made a good season because we don't get to see a lot of the people who get kicked out first very often. I mean, but is that going to be a draw for CBS if they put people like that? For David, yes. For other people from past seasons, I don't know. Takes David to the final two. David, if Tyler goes to the final two and he takes David, that would be the dumbest decision he's ever made. Dumbest. Because he would never win. He would never win. So, yeah, so I can tell I know that, we all know Christmas won veto. Davon won $5,000. Bailey had for the veto, she had a punishment. Her punishment was to ride 500 laps of a tricycle in the backyard. That looked awful to me. I felt bad for her. I really did. But she did all 500. That was pretty good. Yeah, and then she got the slot box. And then there was the 5,000, the veto. Am I missing one? I am missing one. I don't know who I'm missing, though. Damn it. We'll find out tomorrow, right? I'm just not thinking off the top of my head. But, yeah, I mean, if anybody was, like, searching for something to happen and some drama to happen, this was the night. This was the biggest fight so far of 2020 in the Big Brother house. I know, J Jobs. I'm telling you, I give her high props for that, because that looked like that really, really sucked. It looked like it really sucked. But I mean, I'm sorry, if your tricycle breaks, production should come out either A, give you a new tricycle, or okay, we'll just fudge everything, make the feeds go down. Yay, she won! But no, they made her go. Well, for there, she was a good sport. I will definitely say that. She was a good sport. She did what she did. She felt good. They were all dancing in the end. Ian opted out from... Oh, that's right, Tristan. Ian wasn't feeling well. That's what I heard. I couldn't remember what it was. Thank you, Tristan. Ian wasn't feeling well. And no one knew if it was due to the drama that was going on in the house, because he was put in and he couldn't... There was a lot of reasons why people were saying that Ian wasn't feeling well, but also it has been like 120 in California this week or something like that. So it's been like a ridiculously hot week in California. So it's, the tension, heat, anger, quarantine. What a great year this is, isn't it? What a great year. I would kill somebody too. I think I would. Yeah, I mean, I feel bad that Bay and Day are going home and that they're on the block. I would have liked to see some change up. I would like to see some change in the house and the same alliance winning day after day, especially Christmas, man. I'm done with her. Freaking HOH, block a card, veto. She needs to go. She needs to go. I'm done with Christmas. Christmas, Valentine's Day, Thanksgiving. If you haven't seen that video, I think I uploaded it sometime this morning. Oh my God, she just cracks me up. She's so funny. She's really funny. So, like I said, veto is tomorrow. We'll see how it goes, and I just kind of told you what the spoilers were, but we don't know what the game exactly is. And I do like watching the competitions on the night, that at least that's the one thing I don't know what I'm watching, is what the games are going to be like. I did have to say I enjoyed the game that was played on Sunday, that they played in the dark. I actually felt bad for Nicole Franzel when her pants came off and she had to play the game in her underwear. That was wrong on so many levels. I couldn't do that house. Me neither, Tanya. I couldn't. takes their... Oh, they do? I didn't know that, Tanya, because I always hear people talking about medications and if they have to take medications and stuff like that. Because, Ian has talked about how he's on the spectrum with the rocking, and he rocks a lot and things like that. And that's just all coping mechanisms. And I get that. I understand that mechanism and how actually rocking is a comforting feeling. But I would hate to think that they took Ian off medication just to be in the house. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't think they took people off their medications. I mean, I could imagine if you're on narcotics or some extremely hard medications, you couldn't do the show. Does anybody remember Raven from like 18? Was it 18 or 19 when Paul was on? I think it was 18. And she was dying, or at least she said she was dying every freaking day. And she actually has gastroparesis, something I'm suffering with at the moment. And I'm like thinking to myself, if she's got gastroparesis, how the hell is she in that house? And she does have gastroparesis. I did look that up. She does. But everything else that she discussed about her freaking ailments was all a lie. I watched a clip where Nicole said they took her Xanax. Oh, yeah. Because if you're on that consistently and you don't wean yourself off, you will go through withdrawal. And that can cause from craziness alone, oh God. I wouldn't, Raven was she 19? I thought she was a little older. But even at 19, I wouldn't lie about everything. Wow. Oh, they cut their meds in half. Yeah, right there, I'd be out. I'd be completely out. Nope. It is California where they are. Marijuana is legal. They should seriously give them some marijuana at night so they just chill. But then wouldn't that make for extremely funny yet sometimes boring feeds? Everybody would just sitting there just staring into space smiling. But it is legal there, and it is a calming medication. So maybe they could just do that one night. Maybe cut the feeds off. Give it to them. Let them chill out. They need a break. It's been a crazy year. You put them in this, and that's even crazier. Oh, well, shit. They could give it to them at the jury house if they go to the jury. Yeah. That's probably where they kick back and have the absolute most fun. J-Jobs. I use it for meds, so it's something I became more accepting that maybe I wasn't accepting of. But since I use it and I've gotten myself completely off of narcotics, it's been an absolute wonderful thing for me. So that's why I'm like, they should give them some weed. Should be great. I know, right? I don't think Memphis would partake, but I would love to see Memphis partake of that. That would be funny. That would be really funny. But I would say right now, at this moment and time, where we are, this day on Tuesday at 4:20 in New Jersey, the two people who are sitting prettiest at the moment, Enzo, Memphis. I'm telling you, they have kept their name out. Hate Memphis, love Memphis. Who's talking about Memphis? Nobody's talking about Memphis. Everybody's throwing everybody out. Memphis is just going back like this. Memphis is being really smart with the way he's playing his game. And I have to admit, I do like his Memphis in the mornings. I do. I think his Memphis in the mornings are a lot of fun. And it's given him some kind of personality in the house. Otherwise, you wouldn't freaking know he's there. You wouldn't know he's there. So I'm going to go. I got to get back with my kids and stuff like that. But I'm definitely going to come live. Probably not after Big Brother tomorrow, but it could be. But definitely in between end of tomorrow night show and the beginning of Thursdays. I will definitely, if I see anything else funny, I will definitely throw it up so you guys can see it. I like to put up stuff that's just good, light-hearted fun, except for the big fight, because that's the biggest thing that's happened so far in the house. So even David said Memphis is no longer his target. he's faded away into nothing land, and he's just, you're not even hearing about him. And even when it comes to any kind of speeches, nobody's bringing his name up. Yes, Tanya, I am on the East Coast. Yes, I actually live in New Jersey. So, believe it or not, I had a friend from YouTube come and visit me, and she was from Australia. Her name is Miss Murder Australia. And she's like, I love New Jersey. I'm like, nobody says that. No, who says I love New Jersey? Nobody. Absolutely no one. So thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. I really enjoyed doing this. I enjoy like a little half hour, letting everybody know what's going on. I enjoy talking about this. It's a fun thing. I love Big Brother. And I hope you guys enjoy. Please leave a thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you want to do. Hit subscribe. If you don't, okay. Otherwise, I will see you guys in between the next shows, and hopefully we might have some idea what's going to go on from here on out. Bye, everyone. And go Dave on.